Valley Club Dark Dimension 7 has been conquered. Mephisto has been unlocked. So what rewards can you expect coming for the Dark Dimension 7 celebration? Season 7 of Cosmic Crucible has been delayed. When will we get the end of season rewards to finally bring season 6 to a close? And the new Spider Society skill raid team, are they worth your investment or are they a big resource trap? I'm discussing all of these things and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother MobileGamer, and if you're ready to discuss all of these things and more, then MobileGamer, let them know what to do.
Let's go smash it.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin, this is MobileGamer, and this is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Do this every single week, keep you up to date on everything that has happened and is coming up in Marvel Strike Force. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on the channel. Usually there's more. How are you doing though, MobileGamer? I got my glasses ready. I'm ready for the solar eclipse. I'm ready to meet you for the solar eclipse. How cool do these glasses look?
The glasses make you look stunning, but more important than that, I can't wait to see you in person wearing those glasses. You told me you got a 12 pack, so now we just gotta find 10 friends to go hang out with us.
And speaking of 10 friends, we have a meetup coming up this Sunday, April 7th at Dave & Buster's in Frisco. So if you guys can make it 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central, if you guys can make it, that'll be cool. But that should be fun, Mobile.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with some people, hanging out with you, having some good barbecue. Hopefully we don't get rained out for the solar eclipse, and then the trip would largely be a waste, but we'll see.
It would be a fun hangout. Hopefully we get some good weather for the solar eclipse though, but let's bring it back to Marvel Strike Force. There was some stability issues this week in the game. The anniversary caused a bunch of stability issues. They gave us a bunch of orbs. People opened all these orbs at once and the game crashed. So the stability issues were, I guess it was the 29th of March, caused interruptions in play, caused interruption in Cosmic Crucible, caused that to go down, which made their season rewards, all their rank rewards go down, which is why we don't have a season 7 of Cosmic Crucible starting this week. And like I said, one of the major things that happened was the ability to open all these orbs was gone. We could still open 10 at once, but not open all of these orbs. When do you think they're gonna bring this back? When do you think these stability issues will finally be fixed, Mobile?
Okay, so there's a couple things that you talked about there, and these issues are unresolved, and I doubt it would have been fixed by yesterday. That's just my take. And the reason for that is I knew they weren't in the office on Monday, then it'd be Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then we get it resolved on Tuesday. So the open all orbs is causing the server ping. Maybe they need to contract out more servers. I know that that's an issue. Maybe, that caused it, so they removed it. But I don't know why that's there permanently, but it should be brought back. I know they've been giving out tons of orbs. People are getting like hundreds, if not thousands of orbs, and just sit there for like 10 minutes and open them is going to be a hassle. The second issue was there was something wrong with the leaderboards, which caused them to basically cancel this week of Cosmic Crucible, and then the payout for the season, last season's payout, which is directly impacting like my ability and probably your ability to upgrade your Apocalypse, because that's where we get the Dark Diamond promotion, so we can get a 3 diamond Apocalypse, right? So when is that happening? I don't know. I thought it would happen yesterday.
You know what, Mobile? I saved up my Dark Diamond credits last time, so I have my 3 diamond Apocalypse right now. So the less of those floating around there, I'm happier with that.
Yeah, maybe for you, I get it.
No, we need these. We need these rewards. We'll talk about. We're gonna get a little bit more into when these makeup rewards are coming, but there's a lot of visual bugs going on right now in the game. If I remove this camera here, you see that extra red dot there in the inbox is still there. The milestones on the web, this is a weird one there. There's a milestone here for the Nature vs. Nurture, the month-long milestone event. But if we go into the game as well, we see that those milestones are also there as well. So we got those weird bugs. We have the Black Knight was added to these premium orbs, and this visually has not been changed yet. If we go down to the bottom of these premium orbs, he is there. He's been added. So there also Star Brand and Cosmic Ghost Rider were added, and we got a message that they would be added in this previous blog post, but no inbox message. So few visual bugs going on. What is with all these bugs and all these errors during this update 8.0 mobile?
I mean, a lot of this is kind of not a big deal. I mean, the red dot is annoying for sure, but there's really no way of getting getting rid of it, right? You can't even clear it. It comes back. They did say last week that they're going to do something to fix that. The other issue you're talking about is that no notification on Black Knight being in premium orbs. That's a 2% drop rate, meaning if you have 100 orbs, you're going to get 215 drops. So per 100 orbs, you should be getting 30 Black Knight shards. And then the bumps, which is, all these orbs. But for me, that mostly means the Ultimate Store, right? So that means Star Brand and Cosmic Ghost Rider now will randomly show up right here. Like right now there you got Forge, and so on and so on. So we're waiting for that. The other thing that we're waiting for is Extreme X-Men, and according to the timetable and our super scientific math, that we're looking forward to having access to not only Forge but Nightcrawler and Sunspot, and by our general predictions, probably the middle of this month, a couple weeks away, and then from there, I guess the next team, maybe a month away from that, would be Hive Mind. But what's kind of annoying about all this is back in the day, they would give us a date that these changes were going to happen in the blog post. And they said, hey, that's just too much accountability. It's an inconvenient for us to tell you because sometimes we're not going to be able to meet our own obligations. And so they stopped posting that information in the blog post, and they say, be on the lookout for an in-game message. Well, there was no in-game message. Some of this stuff happened yesterday. The Black Knight, the Star Brand, the Cosmic Crucible, that all happened, or the Cosmic Ghost Rider, that happened yesterday without any information in-game and without them telling us a date inside the blog post. So I don't know what they're doing over there.
But mobile, all their blog posts now, they say, please note that the information of the blog is subject to change before it goes live in the game.
Right. I don't know, man.
So they get even less accountability, but they did do something good. They gave us the second part of the gift, which I don't think it was the second part of the gift. I think that was just, they saw how angry the community was over the gift, a hyped up gift. And I think if they did not hype it up that much, the community would have like, oh, this is good. But yeah, they gave us 2 extra mega gold orb fragments, more T4 ability materials there, and I thought this was in totality, maybe they could have given us more stuff here because of the hype they gave, but in totality, I enjoyed the 6th anniversary. We got this stuff here. We've got a bunch of gold. We also got the costume for Deathpool. We got some diamonds, crimson gear. We got some shards. Sunspot Lizard was another character that didn't have his stuff. What was your thoughts on this 6th anniversary and this makeup gift? Did this satisfy you for that big gift that they were hyping? And what did you think of everything that we got in 6th anniversary?
So when I saw the first half of it, I was like, it's missing power cores. Like I went back and looked at every year's rewards, and power cores was a component. Last year there was 555 and so on. It was like year but 1 year there was a big chunk of it was power cores, and bonus stuff is bonus stuff, but they sold it to us as being juicy and gonna be this large gift, and adding this other stuff made that accurate in my opinion. Mostly was missing from the first half was the power cores, so getting the T4s and all of this stuff right here did make it, in fact, a pretty good sized gift, in my opinion. I'm happy with 6th anniversary. I know you're going to ask me what I think about the 6th anniversary. Hey, they did a lot of fun stuff. Like if we compare to what they did last year, they did almost nothing. We had an event, we had some stories, we had the legacy reel, we had some rewards, and if there were no bugs or issues, I think that it would be overall well received. I thought it was great. I really do.
Yeah, I was a little fearful of it when do you remember that call when they described it? I'm like, oh my goodness, this 6th anniversary is so complicated. I don't know what the hell. It turned out very well. I thought they did it very well as execute. They could have executed it a little better, without all these bugs. But all this stuff, I liked it.
So my wife, Kat, started playing Marvel Strike Force at the beginning of the year, right? And she told me that this was great. She loved this stuff. She thought it was fantastic. I do think the rewards benefited newer players. You know, both you and I have been playing the game since soft launch, right? So we've been playing for 6 years plus months, right? Before the game even came out globally. And some of the stuff was not that eventful, but you know, we all need T4s. 100 T4s is great. Power cores are useful. Most of the character shards were a little bit like redundant. We already had them, you know. It's like, we don't, what are we going to do with Weaver? I don't understand why they put Kestrel in there. Kestrel now is the Dark Dimension 1 reward.
The weird one, yeah.
Yeah, why would they think? And then Weaver, you know, if you've been playing the game for, let's say, more than a year, everybody got
4,000 shards.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. But for newer players, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy with it in total. I thought it was good. And then the makeup gift, when you combine the first one and the second one, I thought it was good.
Yeah, that's great.
6th anniversary gift as well. All right. As far as Cosmic Crucible, you know, one of the big effects of this anniversary gift was the crashing, the stability issues. And that got Cosmic Crucible canceled this week. Season 7 of Cosmic Crucible. The rewards, we still don't have the rewards. When are you expecting to get the rewards?
Yesterday.
It should have been here last week, right? It should have been here last week at this time.
This wasn't stability issues. This is something to do with the leaderboards. So on the
I thought the leaderboard issue was caused by stability. Is it two separate things, or is it one leading to the other?
Two separate things. Yeah,
okay, I thought one led to the other. Okay.
And I don't know exactly what went with the leaderboards, but you know, literally right when the season ended, people popped into number 1 and number 2, and some people speculated it had something to do with the new tiebreaker rules, and the new tiebreaker rules just put the leaderboard into chaos. Like, people were getting, and it didn't look like anybody hacked. It was not any kind of hacking or manipulation. We got confirmation from that. Some sort of bug that disjointed the entire leaderboards, and people were in the wrong places.
Wait a minute, wasn't T-Mobile's data again mobile?
Yeah,
is that what happened to T-Mobile? That way we don't have the rewards.
Yeah. I don't know, but like, you know, Johnny, I believe, was in number 1, and then he was in number 3, and 2 random people with, they're not cheaters, they're not hackers, absolutely not, but they were put in 1 and 2, and they had a score that is not obtainable. Like, it was just a glitch. So leaderboards were glitched, which in fact impacts rewards and payouts, and also the delay of the next season was set off by a week. And frankly, you asked me when. I don't know. I know they were off on Monday. It should have been here Tuesday. Should have been here by Wednesday. I thought now it's Thursday morning, and I don't know what's going on. But I thought it would have been fixed by yesterday afternoon.
Do you think that's going to be delayed another week? And if so, what the hell are we going to stream the next week if they delay it another week?
I was looking forward to streaming my first round with you, man. You know, and maybe we're gonna co-op and team up and do the first 2 rounds next week, because I'm going to be out of your house. So I was looking forward to it, right?
Yeah. Hopefully it goes down. We can do all this stuff live. What did you think of these new room rules? We got some new room rules. I wanted to set my defense. I didn't do it in time. I'm looking forward to setting my new defense. Were you able to set your new defense, and were there any rooms that stood out to you?
I did not set mine. They got to reopen it, but yeah, I've not set it. But yeah, right now we're locked out of it, right? So you know, the room 2 is the only one that I'm skeptical of. The rest of them look fine. And yeah, I just don't know if I'm going to like that. That seems the most prescriptive. My suspicion is that there'll be 1 correct team to put on defense and 1 correct team to leave on offense. And whoever has the bigger team is going to get the efficiency points. And it's going to be very boring by the end of the season. So, you know, the only thing that's going to change anything is the release of Spider Society. So there's probably going to be 1 correct team now, and on defense and offense, you know, probably it's going to be placing Pegasus on defense and maybe using
Bifrost, one of those.
Yeah,
probably, right?
I don't know. Like, you know, so but just because we've had this before. Now, they did listen and modify the lower resistance.
Does the lowering resistance and healing by 50%, does that make a big enough of a difference? Because I know people hated Bifrost in Room 2 a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know if I'm going to mind this. Now, the reason why I don't think I'm going to mind this is that the season is shorter, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a shorter season, if it's annoying, then we can go to the next season. Fine. The rest of the rooms are interesting enough, and they're not overly prescriptive, but they do, you know, create some situations for opportunity. I don't really like changing ISOs around, which is room one, is chasing ISOs around, and that can be very expensive to get the ISOs the correct way. But the rest of it looks fine. I think it'll be pretty fun.
Now, as far as these global rules, Mobile, it talks about Cabal with vulnerable, successful hit. They're going to apply more vulnerables. I'm not sure if they're going to have vulnerables. And below 25% health, they're going to get more damage. I'm not sure if they're going to be below 25% max health. So do you think that these global rules are going to be really, really impactful this season?
For Cabal, you know what I mean? So here's the thing is that they get vulnerable out of the gate with Iron Patriot, but the
don't they apply that to the enemies, not have it on themselves?
Yeah,
I don't know. Am I remembering that wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will have to see. So, you know, you have to have vulnerable to apply extra vulnerables, but the reason why that matters mostly is that the number of vulnerables that the enemy has, there's something in Iron Patriot's passive that increases the damage. So normally when you have one vulnerable, the character takes 10% more damage, but with Iron Patriot, there's an extra 10% per stack up to 3 stacks. So it can be an extra 30% extra damage. So that will matter. It'll make, but I think Cabal is gonna run over them anyways.
And earlier this week, we had April Fools, and I think this was the best April Fools that we've ever had in Marvel Strike Force. We've had Howard the Duck, which was pretty memorable. The Wall was pretty memorable. I don't remember some of the other years. This, I think, was the best thing that we've had for Marvel Strike Force. These big heads, these bobbleheads, Funko Pop version. Did you activate it? And are you disappointed this was not a permanent feature?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, I think this was the best thing for April Fools. April Fools in general is kind of annoying. I don't like pranks. I don't like being misled.
You don't like all those clickbait
I don't like it, man.
On
I don't like it. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. It's just not, some people like it, I guess, but actually, who likes it? The person that posts it?
My kids like it. Oh my goodness. They played so many jokes all over the house. My kids loved April Fool's Day.
Okay, so maybe the people pulling the pranks like it, but I think the people receiving the pranks are like, okay, I guess it's cool. You know, so anyways, the heads though was interesting and I thought it was fun. And I know it was well received. I don't think it was like that hard for them to do because a lot of people's like, oh, they're wasting time doing this. No, I don't think they spent a lot of time on this. And I think it was pretty simple for them to do. It was well received. I like the Easter egg of like Leader having a small head. And, but you know, I guess they could make it permanent. I don't know how many days I would want to see this. I mean, it was fun, but I don't know if I would like this a month into or something like that.
The option to have that on and off. I want that permanent. You know, I think it will get annoying if you're playing with the big heads all the time, but having that option there. So sometimes you want it on, sometimes you want it off. I think I would like that option permanent.
For sure. I think if they polish it up a little bit, there were some kind of glitchy things like Doctor Strange's fingers were going through his face and poking out the other side.
Venom's tongue through his neck.
Yeah, and the back of his neck.
The sword of Colleen Wing was
sword going to the head. So
or the Juggernaut head coming out of his mask.
Yeah, so I feel like it was fine for just to do something quick and have it up for a couple days. You know, but if it's going to be a permanent feature that you can toggle on and off, I think they're going to want to polish it up, and they may not want to, right? I think it was fine for what they did, right?
I don't know. Even with all those little bugs, if it's a feature that could turn on and off, I think that's fine. I'd bring it back, Scopely. I think that's fun.
So I'm looking forward to it coming back next year, or like last year, they just turned it on for a couple days. I think that'd be great. It's fun. It was fun. I loved it. It was great.
Now, because of Cosmic Crucible not happening this week, our Battle Pass is getting less points, and they're going to start to deliver some compensation for that. That has not already been delivered. But if we go here, missing Cosmic Crucible, I guess you could complete this doing your 30 war attacks, and you don't have to do Cosmic Crucible. And that's the minimum for a lot of alliances. I guess some people don't always do that there.
Well, the problem with that is if you're an alliance where somebody does 14 wins, right? And that means that somebody else in the alliance wasn't able to do. Weren't getting able to 10. So yes, it was completable. Like if you were able to do a total of 30 attacks over the 3 wars, but you know, if you're in an alliance where somebody took more than their 10 and then you didn't, then that would require like coordination and maybe potential fighting with your alliance mates. So, which would not happen if Crucible was playing right now. So yeah, they're supposed to fix this now. But you're going to go to the Iron Patriot part. That didn't make any sense, like what they did. So
we'll talk about it.
I mean, I think I was in the category of having a maximum amount of rewards, which gave me 250. They gave us 250 more, which brought me to 500. That did nothing. And so then they're going to give us 1,700, which is still going to leave me with 250 extra, but I'll take the other orb. You know, I got
250 extra. Yeah, the amount of these fragments does not make sense. I do like they're giving these Iron Patriot shards, and that's kind of a response from their bad event that they had. It wasn't a great event. And if you completed everything, you would get 90 Iron Patriot shards, and this is the extra 10.
Well, the problem. Okay, so this is what I don't understand. All right.
Yes.
So there was a showcase event, right? And the showcase event had rewards and things that you could get by doing it. Now, if you had good luck, you were able to complete the showcase event, right? But if you had bad luck, you were left short. So free-to-play players, half of them could finish it, half of them couldn't. What is the logic there? People with good luck get to do it. People with bad luck don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this release event for Iron Patriot was not a good one, right? Normally with these release events, you know, back in the day, we were getting 5 stars characters sometimes. Now we're just kind of getting the unlock. This Iron Patriot event did not even get the unlock. It made the showcase, you know, people trying to do the free-to-play showcase, not be able to complete that. That wasn't good. They gave the extra 10 shards because if you were highly engaged in this event, could have got to 90 Iron Patriot shards, and there were 10 missing. And then to get those extra 10, you had a few of these orbs, and these orbs, the minimum drop rate was a 1.
Right.
So you could have not even got the unlock.
So, like, this is what I don't understand. So, did they do bad math and not understand how it worked, and they just miscalculated the math? If that's the case, and it was that they did it wrong,
that's what I think
then they messed up people by giving this late. People weren't able to get through the rest of the showcase event, right? But if it's their intent that only if you spend money you're going to be able to go to that part of the event, well, then why did they make it with the free-to-play players that had good luck? Because you know, it's the people that got screwed are the people that got the 1 drops every time they open up the orb. But if they got a good drop, then they would have finished off and unlocked, you know, Iron Patriot, which is a 100 shard unlock. So it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Do they want us to be able? Do they want the free-to-play players that are engaged to be able to participate in the event or not? Do they want it to be half the people could and half the people couldn't? And screw you, bad luck people. You just got bad luck. You don't get to do it. I don't, that doesn't seem fair. So just a percentage of the community free to play could get through it, but another percentage couldn't. It doesn't make sense to me what they did. This does not answer that question at all, in my opinion. It doesn't. It's completely unresolved.
They gave this a weird amount of these fragments, right? They said, additionally, players received all possible Patriot core orb fragments. They're left with 250 orbs in their inventory. This was done to give a little overflow, but you understand it feels bad. So they gave 1,700 orb fragments in this compensation. And look, I still have 250 surplus.
Right. Yeah. Whatever. We got to open extra orb. It's whatever.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the correct thing would be just send out 1,500. Oh, so well. Well, it is what it is.
Now, the weird thing, it says they're going to include 5 Iron Patriot shards in free claims. They're going to include that there. Now, normally, they either do the character that was released that week in the free claims or the character that is coming up. Peter B. Parker is supposed to be released this week. Does this mean that Peter B is getting screwed, or do you think we're getting 5 Iron Patriot and 5 of each? What do you think we're going to get for this?
We should get both, right? More is better, right?
We should get both. Do you think they're going to forget?
More is better. Let's do it.
This is Scopely we're talking about. All right. We have a new month-long milestone. Leader is the character here. Not sure how I feel about this because I want a lot of leader shards. I want to get him big as possible for this upcoming season of Crucible, but I'm not sure how far long it's going to be till free-to-play players can unlock leader. What do you think of the rewards for this month-long milestone event, and what do you think of the inclusion of leader as the character?
I mean, I don't have a problem with either of it. I mean, if you know, they're always first of all, like if you don't care about Crucible, I don't know if you care about Leader, right? I mean, he seems so specific to Crucible, like, and he's so slow. He's Gamma tag, but I don't see him being used in Gamma when there's only one other. I'm just
wondering his passive. They call it the villain characters.
Maybe.
Do you think that's going to give him more plug and play, or he's going to be relegated just to Crucible?
We'll have to see in War, but nowhere else. Maybe in War. I mean, I think they might be okay in War, but that remains to be seen.
I guess I was kind of hoping Arena would be affected by Leader's call out, but I don't think that's going to happen because, the good characters, Mephisto, Apocalypse, Super Skrull, they're all villains. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's a lot of extra damage, but he's so incredibly slow. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not there to do anything. He's there to facilitate the rest of his team. What do you think of this new formatting for the calendar, the round formatting?
If you zoom back a little bit, for me, it's very logical. You just look, at the middle and it has what's going on and you can see the rings. So the overlapping of the events, to me, this is, I like this quite a bit. Just super easy. And then one thing
worse.
I like it better.
Okay.
Another one was a little, I don't know. This made, and I'm sure everybody's brain's different, but this works for my brain. The solo event Slick Outbreak for Juggernaut. I wish we had more information on that for the Zombie Juggernaut. I'm sure it's going to be mostly order offers, and maybe we'll get a couple shards. But they really, some people ask me, is he going to be farmable? No, I don't think that at all.
Do you think they're going to give out shards during this event for Zombie Juggernaut with this? Because sometimes the character on this they give out shards for it. Sometimes they don't.
Well, I mean, that's the way they did last year with Zombie Iron Man. I mean, there was some shards that you could get, but a lot of it was pay milestones or whalestones. A lot of it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out in the game. All right. We have another milestone going on right now. This one doesn't seem as bad as the Iron Patriot one. This is Atomic Fallout. I've already gotten the meta item here. There's some leader shards in this. Spending campaign energy and using Hive Mind in the raids. It seems like we've gotten a lot of events where we need to use the Hive Mind in the raids. Why a Hive Mind? Do they realize that Hive Mind is going to be falling off and they want us to be building these characters, or is there some other conspiracy that comes to your mind?
Okay, for me, a couple things. I like Hive Mind, so great, right? Right now, Hive Mind has been, good in raids, and then has seen, for me, a lot of use inside of Crucible and also Alliance War. Now, my experience and my feeling about this team is that it's very dependent on, getting that first character into red to trigger Carnage passive. So it's going to play out similar to the symbiote. So it feels like the team snowballs. You get some turn meter when somebody goes into red, and then it just ramps up, right? And then the other team doesn't take a turn and you win, right? If you can get that event to happen. But when that doesn't happen, the team is dead.
Yes.
And so it felt like symbiotes fell off a cliff the last time when that stopped happening. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Hive Mind. They're going to be good as long as they can do enough damage to trigger that turn meter from Carnage passive. But once they get to a place where they can't, and the team is just going to fall off.
Last season, one of the main benefits that the Hive Mind got was they got that superior 6-tag in Cosmic Crucible. So not only were they valuable in the raids, they also had some benefit in Cosmic Crucible. They're not going to have that in Season 7. How hard do you think they're going to fall off in Cosmic Crucible? Do you think they're going to have any valuable in Cosmic Crucible?
I mean, it really comes down to exactly what I said. Like, the team is good if you can get first character into red. And, if someone is silly enough to put minions on defense, or a character that spawns minions, or hell on defense, that's where they're going to thrive, right?
Yeah.
And so, as soon as they can get that turn meter, they go off. But yeah, they're not going to be nearly as good as last season, for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Now, in addition to this Atomic Fallout, where you got to spend campaign energy battling the raids, there's associated web milestone where you need to spend incursion energy and Age of X energy. So this is the limited time event going on right now. Do you think it's worth spending some power cores on a limited time event, or spending refreshing your incursion energy with some power cores just to complete this?
Yeah.
Or are you just doing this as much as possible, and if you don't get everything in to max this out, then whatever?
Yeah, now that I'm at level 100, my enthusiasm to spend 50s on just on something that doesn't add a lot of value to my account is gone way down. It just really is. I mean, when I was trying to get to 100, I wouldn't have minded this event, because I want to get to 100, and I got to 100. I still don't have any gold, so it doesn't really matter. I'm at 100, but I don't have any gold, so what does it matter anyways? But yeah, I'm not really excited about this. I mean, I think some people don't mind spending on incursion energy, although you kind of get shorted on how much you get, on the incursion energy. So
as far as your commander
like,
level, yes. I mean, well, as far as your commander level, no, but you only get 60 incursion energy for every 50 quarters you spend, but you get double that in your commander points when you're trying to raise up to level 100. So it works out there, but
if you don't have like I think the value to incursion is, you get 7 reds on characters that you might need, but if you don't need any characters at 7 reds, like you're done with all your reds, it's kind of a waste.
I'm looking for that real jackpot of some dark promo credits. When I spend incursion energy, I'm like, will I get some dark promo credits or will I get nothing? And a lot of times it's nothing, but sometimes I get some.
It's a low drop rate on those dark promos, man. It's low. Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah, it's not, but that's what's going through my mind. I'm 50 cores to get a chance for some dark promos. That's nothing else matters in that store. All right. Peter B. Parker is coming out today along with Mayday. So we're getting not just 1, but 2 characters released today in the game. My question is about this Spider Society team in totality. They are a raid team. They're needed for the skill section of the raids, which is the last section of the raids. If your alliance is not doing 100% in the raids or not pushing for that, or satisfied with 60 or above, is this team even needed? Do you need this team for anything? I mean, does this team give you any value outside of the raids, or is it just pretty much for the skill raids?
That remains to be seen. There's some problems with this team as far as there's no individual that stands out as being a plug and play character, unlike Hive Mind, where you've got a character like Void Knight. There is no Void Knight on this team, right? I mean, Pav is maybe can be used, but the problem with this team, in my opinion, outside of raids, is going to be the speed of Penny Parker and Peter B. Parker. I mean, and
they're all slow.
I mean, he's fast. He's like 128 and he gives speed up. Peter B. Parker is like 108 and Penny Parker is 106. And she felt the best on the team when I played it on the test server, but she's also the slowest. So I don't think this team is going to be useful outside of raids. Now, what I'm curious about the most is how this team is going to do in Cosmic Crucible in Room 2. We'll see. But, if your alliance cares about raids, then you just have to build it. The thing is this, that, we have the incursion raids right now, right? There's going to be something else, right? Something later.
Incursion 3.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, is there is nothing going on with invaders. I mean, Nick Fury is Nick Fury summons are the best thing on that kit. Holy moly!
I don't even use him plug and play anymore.
Maybe he's
Are you still using him? I'm not even using him plug and play anymore.
Well, he goes fast, and you can do the special and give the rest of the members on your team speed up. Maybe that's the only value I see on him.
I don't think I've used it in the past 2 weeks though, so I don't know.
No, skills, not a lot of good choices. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be building up this team, and I think if you want not only this raid have an easier time, but on the next version of the raids have a better time. But the one thing I do know is do not upgrade your invaders. Do not upgrade your invaders. They're garbage, trash, feel bad. There's nothing good about them. You're better off working on this team right here.
They all have dual tags. They all are city characters. Are you thinking of any of these characters for city in Dark Dimension 7?
Like I said, they're so slow. Other than Pav, Pav is maybe has some value and has some synergy with Hero Spider-Verse, but I just don't see. I could be wrong. I just don't see it. I mean, this is a turn-based game.
Even this speed is not that much, right?
But he also gets speed up, and he can give speed up. He's got some things that are okay. But maybe I just don't know. It feels so. We'll see. Well, we will see. I'm super skeptical. Now, the thing about this team is that I'm not going to probably be able to use them until I have all 5, right? And they're getting released. One's coming out today, then let's say 10 more days, another one, and 10 more days, the last one. So I don't really need to rush to upgrade them. Like I can take my time, Like I don't even think I need to like really do much with them until all of them are out, right?
So here's my next question. Do you think this is shelvable or skippable? Skippable meaning, do you think they're going to become farmable before they're needed for whatever the next raid is going to be, or before the majority of alliances are trying to 100% this incursion 2.3?
Listen, I understand people trying to skip or shelve teams, but
Yes.
it feels, I understand why people want to do that. But I've also seen, Scopely go out of their way if a team underperforms their sales expectations to make them required somewhere else later.
Legendaries.
So, yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. But, the risk is there that there's something we don't know about. We actually just don't know. There's no, it's not an answerable question. It really isn't. So, I think that in general, when people skip characters, it's usually characters that are war only. I don't see people skipping raid teams. Raid teams are just more important to me than a war team. And so I would think if you're looking to skip a team, maybe look elsewhere.
Yeah, I think the answer to that comes when they're going to be farmable, but of course we don't know that. Right. I don't even know if Scopely knows that at this point. So yeah, like you said, this is an incomplete answer right now.
Well, and then even like my suggestion was skip a war team. The last war team we had is out of time, and they right out of the gate said, yeah, this is going to be used for the next legendary. So it's like, wow, what do you do? I don't know, man. I don't know. This skipping shelving idea feels bad. Like if I say yes, skip, whatever, and then you get burned. Later,
well,
we just don't know.
I would build up everything I want, but I can't do that. So I gotta selectively build only teams.
Well, but the thing about raid teams is and this is going to vary from every alliance to every alliance. Like, what does your alliance want from you?
That was what I was saying earlier, because our alliance is doing 60%. I don't think we're going to be pushing up to 100% anytime soon. I don't know if I need this team.
Yeah, if your alliance is not needing you to do anything more than what you're doing now and push harder, I mean, in general, like a lot of these raid teams, like Bifrost, for example. I mean, that's just one specific. I'm not really using the team outside of raids, to a lesser extent, Vol, right? Vol gets used outside of raids. So I don't need to upgrade them more than I need to, right? I don't need to dump resources. Now, I don't feel that way about Hivemind and Extreme and a little bit about Pegasus, because like Extreme, for example, and Hivemind, for example, I get used in PvP modes, right? Which is going to be Crucible and War. So it feels good to like have a raid team that is useful outside of raids. And it doesn't feel bad to put a lot of resources in. But typically, on raid teams, you put as little in possible just to get through whatever you need to do, whatever your alliance wants you to do. And then your PvP teams is kind of where you dump your power, which is going to be Arena, Crucible, and War, right? Yeah. And in that order, Arena, then Crucible, then War. And then if there's a team that does all of those things, then, that's a green light, to go as hard as you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll see what we have to do with the Spider Society.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. The next, whatever the Mephisto raids, the first node is going to be skill, and you're going to be out of luck with invaders. All right? I mean, that's something that could possibly happen.
That is 100%. That is 100% going to happen. That is 100% going to happen. That's
the scenario that we don't know that I'm talking about, right? And invaders will not work, because they're going to design them so they don't work, right? And it's going to be to get through that first block, and then you're going to be like, I got to upgrade. You could shelve them and just wait and see what happens. I don't know.
Hope that they're going to be farmable by the time that you actually need them and a new raid comes out. That's one risk you could take. All right, Dark Dimension 7 has been conquered. Beta Ray Bill. It was just a matter of time before he would be the first person beating Dark Dimension 7. Beat it in less than a week. Now, his second run, he got Mephisto in less than 6 hours. Now, if you go into game right now, you can see all the teams that he used. You can check out the teams that did the most damage. You've probably checked this out, saw what he used on these nodes. Did this change anything? The teams that he brought in, the teams that gave him success, the teams that some of the characters that made him struggle a little more. Did this change any of your plans for Dark Dimension 7?
Yeah, loosely it did. And I want to have a longer conversation with some of the people that have finished this and get more into it. So one of the concerns that I had was two things. So far, I've learned two things, right? And we're going to learn more things, right? There's a lot of unanswered questions. But can you get through the first nodes without Super Scroll? Can you just build your city first and go through the first nodes? And apparently the answer to that question is no. Really got to go into the first 2 nodes with Super Scroll. So, the first character that I'm going to take to gear tier 19, as opposed to being like Vulture or something like that, now is probably going to be Super Scroll. And because I'm hearing that, you can get through it without Super Scroll.
This person did, but he looked like he had a rough time.
I don't know. Maybe you can do it with Apocalypse. I don't know, but from what I've been hearing from people is that getting through that first node without something chunky like Apocalypse or Super Scroll is challenging. And this idea that you could go through it just with City doesn't seem like a thing. Now, the second thing that I learned is that there was a conflict of uniques, like between Cosmic Ghost Rider and, let's say, Dormammu, right?
Yeah.
And so I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do not Cosmic Ghost Rider, but Robbie Reyes and Dormammu, right?
Yeah.
Robbie Reyes.
I knew who you meant.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes. And so I don't think, from what I'm hearing, is that Robbie steals the show in those first city nodes. So go back to city right there.
Yeah, you need
and I'm hearing that this is would be miserable without Robbie Reyes. So I think a lot of people were planning on not using Robbie so they could use the uniques on Dormammu, and that just doesn't look like that's going to be possible either.
Yeah, I think you do Dormammu and Robbie, or Doom and and Robbie. If you look at what Fate's Fury did,
Doom uses the same uniques also.
Yeah, if you look at what Fate's Fury did, he actually looks like he took in on his first run. He took in Doom. Yeah, he took in Doom on his run instead of Dormammu. So one or the other. You need Robbie. I think I'm gonna go with Dormammu rather than Doom. And just based on what Beta Red Build did, I think this is the best team for City.
I heard Firestar was very good in that first node right there. As far as City now,
and he liked Lizard better than Big Time Spider-Man for City.
Yeah, and here's the thing: my approach on this is going to be quality over cheap. In the past, there were little cute things that some people did to get through it.
Sabretooth,
Stitcher, Sabretooth, Trooper. That has never felt good long term. You've done it too, right? It just doesn't feel good, right?
I've said this. I didn't want to bring Stitcher into Dark Dimension 5 or 6, but I brought him into both. I don't plan to bring him to Dark Dimension 7.
Yeah.
And I think just based on this team that he brought in, the Kang, Val, Void Knight, and then both the Eternals just smashing through Cosmic, I think this is what I want to bring in to Cosmic as well. There's a lot of Mystic here, but
go for quality. I mean, characters that are going to be used in mini game modes for a long time, is going to feel better. I mean, if you're going to only be able to take a certain number of characters to gear tier 19, they might as well be useful. Like I think Black Knight is like, do it, right?
100%.
Do Black Knight. You got to do it. And I don't think you're gonna. You're not gonna regret Nightcrawler. You're probably not gonna regret Gambit. Orange and Sunspot. Maybe you'll regret it later, but who knows, right? But it feels good today, right? Those are pretty important characters.
One of the things he said about this spot, though, first run with Beta Red Bill, he took it Quicksilver instead of Sunspot. Second run, he brought in Sunspot, and it was way better, which is a little surprising to me because of Quicksilver was very, very good in Dark Dimension 6. So,
okay,
the Sunspot over Quicksilver for a global. I think those are the two most surprising. Lizard over Big Time Spider-Man and Sunspot over Quicksilver.
Okay.
So what I've seen from Beta Red Build Dark Dimension 7, I think it changes not too much of what I plan to do, but one thing that I am doing, I'm equipping these unique pieces here. Anything that is teal, I'm equipping on them. But I'm also thinking I'm going to start to equip some red pieces, some crimson pieces on 3 characters: Black Knight, Apocalypse, and Super Skrull. So like this one on Super Skrull, because this is one of these pieces on the left that increases the health and the damage and the focus. I might just do all these. Do you think you're going to equip some of these early on some of these top 3 characters, Apocalypse, Super Skrull, and Black Knight? Or you're just going to wait for everything?
No, the only one that, well, I don't know. The right now I'm focusing on Super Skull. I mean, I'm going to work on Super Skull, and hopefully he's my first gear tier 19, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, I think for me, I have 3. I'm going to do Black Knight, Apocalypse, Super Skrull. The rest I'm going to wait on, but I might just start. I might later today. I might put this teal gear on, this crimson gear on these spots here, just to get Super Skrull a little bit more damage, and then the rest I'm just going to wait.
It makes sense to me. I mean, I mean, you're gonna. I think that those 3 characters, you know, any of the resources you put into those 3 characters, you're not going to regret. Like, you're going to take them to 19 someday, eventually, anyways. It's not, they're not going to be going to 19. It's just you want to do it now or later. And, you know, for me, what from hearing that you really need Super Skrull, or it's a lot easier to get through that first node, because there's a Nova in that first node that ultimates all the time, and I guess you need either. The suggestion is it's a lot easier with Super Skrull and or Apocalypse, is what I'm hearing.
I think I want both of them. Now, as usual, when Dark Dimension's beaten, there's a celebration, but because I think he beat it so quickly, the celebration was not planned yet. There will be a Dark Dimension celebration, completion celebration. Have more details soon. What they've done in the past, they've let the Dark Dimension winner pick whatever character, 100 shards given out to the community, some blitzes of some characters that were brought in. Black Knight was one of the characters that were brought in. What do you think is going to happen for this celebration? Are they going to allow him to pick some more recent characters like a Black Knight, or what? I mean, I guess my question is, what has changed since they've changed up their farming cadence? Previously, when they've done this, we've had to wait so long for characters for them to be farmable. Now we're getting characters farmable a lot sooner, so shards aren't as important, except if it's the brand newest character. So what do you think is going to change for this celebration this year, if anything?
Okay, well, I think this goes back to something that we talked about at the beginning of the video, is they just don't like to say stuff in advance that's going to hold them accountable later. And so they just don't say anything. And that's all it is. Like, they're going to probably do something, but if they don't write anything down, then they don't have to be contradicted or debated or be held accountable for what they wrote down. They can just say nothing and then do something after the fact, and there's no negotiation to be had or complaints. It's just like what you get is what you get. So I feel like they're moving in that direction on some of their communication.
I guess it's like that big gift, right? Because if they said nothing and they just give out that gift to us, like, oh, that's cool, we got some character shards, we got some gold, that's cool. But when they say you got this big gift, it's going to make a significant dent to your roster, you're going to be able to upgrade some characters, and it comes and you're not able to do that, like, right? What the hell, Scope, please? So yeah, I think that may be right. You know, they're communicating less, so that we're disappointed less and less and less.
Yeah, there was like weird rules, like your name can't be this, you can't do this to your name, blah blah blah. Remember they had all these weird rules,
and then they had to change it. Remedex dances on Twitch or something instead of what the real name was.
Yeah, instead of twerking on Twitch, and then they got all they have all these like things like, you know, like it was like a contract, you know, written up, and now they're just like, yeah, we're not gonna. They just didn't publish anything. And you know,
gold Mephisto costume.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Level 100. A lot of players have reached it already. What are you doing with your gold? Are you buying gear here, or are you bringing more characters and more teams up to level 100? Because unless you're spending a lot, you can't do both. So what are you doing? More teal gear? I mean, more crimson gear? Or more teams, characters up to level 100? What are you doing right now?
All right. I mean, I'm in a unique situation, and so everybody's got to do what they got to do. I mean, I think if I had more gold, I would be buying, of course, crimson gear, at least the uniques or the pieces I think I'm going to need. But, you know, like if I'm able to contribute to my alliance's attacks because my teams are too small, you know, then there's a lot of pressure for me to upgrade war teams. But that's probably a unique situation to me.
Okay. What I'm doing, I was buying all this stuff here, and then I was like, I got no gold. So what I'm doing is, if it's a piece that Black Knight, Apocalypse, or Super Skrull takes, I'm buying it. Any other piece, I'm just letting it go. So that's what I'm doing right now. And that is it for this week in Marvel Strike Force. Light week, but there was a lot to discuss. A lot of things happened. We got that Dark Dimension. We got the new Spider Society and Cosmic Crucible delayed. Hopefully we get a new nice season 7. Any final thoughts on this week in Marvel Strike Force, brother Mobile?
Fix your game, Scopely. I don't know, man.
Fix your game. Protect your eyes.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next time. We're gonna have a fun time. Hopefully, you guys can join us at the meetup over at the Dave & Buster's in Frisco. And yes,
looks like Run 7's gonna be there also. He
nice.
just messaged me,
Okay, so
let's do that too. Yeah.
And maybe more people that you guys might know.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a good one, guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. If not, you might be live streaming it.
We'll see how it goes.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see if we can get it working. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you go over to MobileGamer channel. If you haven't already subscribed, give them a subscribe. And if this video did give you some value, leave it a like. It helps on the channel. It's free. And if you want to check out what you need to do to win in Arena right now, check out the video up there. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Are you ready for a fist bump, Mobile?
Let's go smash it. Or fist bump out. I don't know.
Fist bump. ValleyFlyin, MobileGamer out. Yeah, have a good one. Yes.